Okay guys, we are on harvest day 2 and we did a little something. I was searching for one, we bought a grain cart. Kinze 1050 grain cart. I was searching for either like a 850 bushel grain cart, Kinze 1100 bushel, which the 1050 is somewhere right in between there. Found this one on auction. I was bidding on another one on auction, a wheeled one on the auction, and then I found this one. This is a 2006 Kinze 1050. Should be good, should be good. She's a little used, not as nice a condition as the other one I was doing it, but for the price at the auction, it definitely seemed well worth it. And these carts, I don't know, the way I've looked on it on like Ag Talk and stuff, it seems like these are like extremely heavy built. Was wanting to buy a Kinze. It's got tracks. When we tile farms, do dirt work on farms, it should be nice not having that cart just dip right in that tile line of last year's tile. Me and Spence, we're trying to get this thing all hooked up. The scale, we're gonna put the scale in there, but I don't have the correct brackets for it, so we're probably not gonna run the scale today. I've ran this cart in farm sim a lot, and I always kind of had my eye on getting one. We definitely don't need this big a cart, but at the price I got it at auction, it's like, why not go a little bigger so you can fill a full semi with one grain cart load. That's the plan. Excited to run it. It's gonna go on the 8R, the 8320R here. Should be a perfect pair for this. So it looks like it was sold originally in, I know I'm gonna mispronounce that wrong, Monmouth, Illinois, Painter Farm Equipment. And that's where we got it at on auction. A guy must have retraded it in, it looks like. It's got a roll tarp on it, which will be nice. I did want to make sure the combine, the 9560, would go over top of it, and it does. There's like a foot or two of clearance. What's nice about this cart is it's got 2 different augers. So it's got a bottom auger that runs here along the cart, and then it's got an unloading auger that goes out vertically. Some of the carts that you see are big and tall, and then they have one auger that goes an angle towards the center, which this allows the cart to fill a lot more grain at the bottom of the cart, has a low center of gravity compared to some other carts. So you don't need as tall a side on this to get 1,000 bushel in. So since we bought this cart and I bought a trailer, haven't bought a semi yet, went and looked at one. There's a little issue when we were test driving it. That's in the shop right now, seeing if that's gonna get fixed. But I did sell our Brent wagon pair. So I wanted to get them sold right before harvest here. So we got those sold. Basically going to do semi and trailer and then grain cart, because we don't really need those wagons around. Mark, my neighbor, does have his wagon set yet, which that's what we're gonna use today. We're gonna help him harvest some of his corn and soybeans because they need a third guy potentially, and then being able to use some wagons that he's not, he doesn't really need this fall much. We're gonna get her hooked up, get rolling with this thing. There we go. No, it's perfect. All right. It's on. You think we should have the gate, the hydraulic arm? Gate 1, hydraulic arm 2. Yeah. That cable must run as long as it doesn't get caught in the tires. We're gonna go ahead and try this. Second hydraulic is the auger, and the first one is the gate. Let's see here. Probably make that go faster, but that's the speed we're going. So there's that. We'll run it. PTO's going. You're not supposed to run it. You're not supposed to run it fast with no grain in it. The gate should be closed, but I'll open it now. There we go. I think it was just the first time, and now it was really smooth there. Yeah. Okay, we think we got it all figured out, so we're gonna fold her on in and then head to the field. We've got my dad who's gonna run this grain cart, and then Spencer's probably gonna run wagons, or run combines. A couple things with the gate, it really slams kind of hard, trying to figure out if that's normal or not. Like it's like it's almost has to go past the breaking point and then it goes. Just gotta put some grain in it, figure it out, and go from there. Okay, we're hitting the road. Spencer's up ahead of me. I don't think we're going far enough where, I guess I've never dealt with tracks and like burn, or because they like create heat and stuff, and you gotta be careful going long distances. I have to kind of learn about how that works, but I don't think we're going far enough to where it'll really matter too much.
These are the 2 wagons we're gonna run. Grant's getting pulled in. We got this all greased this morning, tracks and everything. This is what we got left for the field. I don't know, 30 acres left. So sometimes this is what happens to the corn here, a little fungus growing on it. If there's any kernels on the ground, they're shattered. Way better than last time. And here's just how humid we had it this year. You can see just like fungus growing on the soil here. So Grant's saying in the combine, it's running like 17% moisture. It was 25% moisture 8 days ago is when we were here last. All right, I'm gonna get this set up over the wagons and Grant's gonna go around once and we're gonna test this out and make sure everything is working and make sure it unloads right.
Harvested a little bit of corn, dumped a little bit in. We just want to make sure this grain cart works the way we want it to work.
Everything worked good, first load, so now we're safe to fill the cart. And we know it'll empty the corn out. Now we're gonna start get going. Grant's starting to open the field up and we'll get rolling.
Like I said, we're in a different hybrid now and we waited to harvest this hybrid, but if we look here, it's a lot better corn, running between 200 and 230. Our average for this load is 172 because we went through a pond. By far, way better corn than the other hybrid here on this corn farm. So, which means hopefully there's hope for our other fields of different hybrids.
And I can square up after. All right, we're unloading on the go here. First time.
Driving through the night trying to keep my eyes open. The generator's busted and the AC's broken. I'm talking to the Lord, hope He helps us get there safe. To the show, now we're singing to the crowd, we're playing encore and screaming real loud. Try to get home early, but I know that ain't the case. Yeah, it's another hotel room, sleeping on the floor. I'm hurting in the morning from the night before. Pay my dues, I'm eating up the road. I'm coming home, baby, leave the porch light on. In the morning from 7 to 9, but we just can't seem to wake up in time. We grab a cup of coffee and we're off to hit the road.
All right, we got the first load in. It was running 18%, and then we're refilling back up. So there's quite a bit of, the auger's big auger, so you gotta shut your gate, empty the auger, and move to the next wagon. Pretty on the money there. Last one we filled the back way too full. So this is a big grain cart. Pretty cool. So I think Grant ran out of fuel. And so he's emptying his combine here, and we are, he's gonna go run and get fuel on it. What's really nice is we're only 2 miles away from where we're going.
Okay, we're taking a little break. We need fuel in the combine. Me and Spencer have been doing a lot of truck switch around. Spencer actually sold his dually. We always had the fuel tank, the transfer fuel tank in the dually truck, and he bought my old truck, and then I went and bought a new truck. That dually needed a lot of work, kind of, and I was like, Spence, just buy my old truck, because I had my old truck had 220K miles on already. It was 2017, so it was time for a a newer truck, but we forgot to put the fuel tank in my new truck here. Spencer was gonna do it over the weekend, but was running around doing a bunch of stuff, selling wagons, so he didn't get it in. No problem at all. We're gonna just go right over to the town over here. They've got actually some of the cheapest diesel fuel you can actually get. At this fuel pump, they put one of the shortest handles, a little tight fit. It's definitely not made for combines or like large equipment. Next couple of days, we gotta get a actual transfer pump put in the truck. Okay, we should be good. Dad helped back me in there. It's tight. So we got fuel in, not far to go. The hose is pretty short here. We're back, we're rolling, but Spencer's texted me that at 5 o'clock, there's like thunderstorms popping up all over. It's gonna downpour. And we have like 20 acres left, so we got like 2-3 hours. We should be able to get this done as long as everything goes good. So yeah, we're in corn now that's running pretty good. Running a lot better, at least. But boy, if we didn't have this disease, I think we would have had a lot better year. We would have had a little less rain and not as much disease here. This is where the plot was last year, which was actually a really good part of the farm. My dad's just running a grain cart, and then Spencer's running the wagons to elevator. Working good. Working good.
What's pretty crazy is this stuff is running 18%, and just 7 days ago it was like 25-26%. This stuff dried down literally a point a day. Crazy how fast everything's drying out here, and then the forecast still looks super warm. We do have chances of like thunderstorms.
We are still rolling. I got my dad with a full load, head to Spencer. It is crazy how much more efficient you are when you have a grain cart. I did not realize that. I can keep going, never stop in this really combine. That's for when I hit a pond that drowned out that needs a lot of tile, then I gotta stop. But otherwise, we're not stopping. Also, that Kinze 1050, I just love, I mean, looks aren't anything, but man, that cart looks really good. Like, by far, I've used that cart in farm sim so much, and I was just like, you know, for the price at the auction, I was like, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get it. So it looks like a really good cart, paired perfectly with that 8R2. 8110 would be, I think, too light a tractor to throw it on there. We don't have too many hills, so I don't think it'd be a problem. We're pretty flat in this county to where you can run definitely a little bit smaller tractor on the grain cart compared to past counties I've farmed in that were like some pretty steep hills. That is the difference in hybrids right there. I'm running green strips, but this was the end rows here, and the end rows were the hard 5-day hybrid that just got wrecked with disease, but this 107 days is doing a lot better to where we're a lot better corn over here. And we've got the last 4 rows here, and then we are done with this field. And there we go. I'll have to total everything up at the elevator, but 160, if I had to guess, something like that. Last year it was 221. I got to be like 50 to 70 bushel behind last year's corn on corn here. I'll be curious on our hybrid plot to see which hybrids handle disease, because there's going to be some hybrids in there. We've got 21 or 22 different hybrids that really probably handle disease a lot better than the other ones. So we'll dump all this out, and then I'll get on the road. We got rain like showers popping up here, so I'm going to get on the road and get taking the combine back. Moving out. Spencer's taking the wagon to the co-op. My dad's bringing the grain cart, and then I'm going to follow him with the combine.
All right, it's the next morning. We're in a new field. We got done with that one. This is the first time Grant's ever combining his field. It has 2 bins here. Pretty exciting. We have a corn plot going on too. We aren't gonna get into that today. There's rain chances all day. There's kind of rain chances all week, and he's just opening up the field. We wanna see what moisture's doing here. We'll check in with Grant, see what yields are. I better get to moving the truck so I'm not in his way. It's running like 17%. Yields are like 220, roughly 200. One thing that's interesting is the samples already cleaner. We didn't change anything on the combine. We're just in a different field, different corn. So these kernels are a lot bigger. They combine better, I guess, with the settings we have.
This is definitely going to be a lot better corn than the last field, but not going to be as good as just like any previous year. Like this was high management, 2-pass fungicide, tissue sampled a bunch, applied micros when we were low, did almost everything you could for this field with the circumstances. I'm guessing it'll run between 200 and 230 bushel on this field, and this is really good dirt. It just seems like disease kicked off this hybrid. This might be too early as I've only done 2 passes on the end round though, so we'll see. It's amazing to see how much better this corn harvests too. So you guys said we had the Yetter Devastators locked up actually. The pins are locked up.
Said that too. I see them float and stuff, but maybe they would float even more.
The nice thing about YouTube is people tell you when you're doing something wrong. And if you're open-minded, you can learn a lot from it. And so somebody said we had these Devastators up in a locked position, and we didn't realize that. But if you take these pins out, it'll drop a little further. And so that's what me and Spencer are doing. And it probably won't make too much of a difference, but somebody said it works a little better, so. Sorry, I wasn't filming that, Spence. This might actually be some really good corn, guys. I might be wrong here. We're gonna do some good stuff. It's high moisture stuff though, and Spencer went and got the grain cart, and I don't know if we need the grain cart right now or not. The outside 2 rows next to me, I'm pretty sure the fungicide applicator completely missed these 2 outside rows, because I can see right to the line where this corn looks terrible and this corn right here looks a lot better, the plant health. This is gonna be a good yield check right next to us if the fungicide difference, because this corn looks dead and it's the exact same hybrid here. Okay, we're opening up the field here, dumping into Spencer now. We're in the back half of the field, so it's kind of nice to have a cart back here to dump into. Opening up the end rows over here, and then we're going. I think there's actually going to be some potentially good corn out there. We're on the yield monitor, which should be somewhat out there. We're getting 270s, 280s in some spots, which means there's some decent corn out there. The whole field will never go that high at all, but if there's a farm that's going to do really well, it's probably going to be this farm. Digging up on the ends, got Spence in the cart, and you guys can see that rain coming over there. So got to kind of figure out what we're going to do here. I don't know if it's going to hit us or not, but at least we got the ends taken off, kind of opened up this field, and doing the most we can with what crops available ready to harvest. So yeah, pretty good corn. Come on. Come on, there we go. 300 bushel corn, boom. I'm sure the whole field's gonna do that. So I was kind of wrong, actually. There is some good corn out here. If it got enough fungicide, it seems like there's going to be some decent fields here. I think it just all depends on the hybrid, and I think our hybrid plot is going to be really telling what hybrid does best in a heavy disease year. There's 21 different hybrids out there, and some of the racehorse hybrids, I think, probably aren't going to do the best this year. This is super interesting for me to learn and know, because I used to think just buy the racehorse hybrid, buy that, but this year's going to show that the defensive hybrids are by far going to be the best hybrids in my opinion here. So it's going to be super interesting. It's crazy because the yellow was an old hybrid that was left over from the other corn on corn field. It was a 105-day hybrid, and then now we're in the 114-day hybrid here. And it's crazy the difference on yield right now. So far on the strip, around 275 here. Keep in mind when I talk about yield or getting to any good yield at all, this was 2-pass fungicide, it was high management, it had a bunch of micros, so economically, I'm definitely not making that much money. If lucky, I'm breaking even when we have high yield on a year like this. So keep that in mind. Tarp the grain cart there, park the combine. We got rain coming all over the sky. Thunder, lightning. Spencer's going to the co-op and he's never been to this co-op, so I'm gonna help him kind of get situated in the co-op. If it's not raining, we'll dump the cart again and then take him to the co-op, but we're in no rush today. It's slow. That corn's pretty wet, 22-23%, so we can definitely let it dry, and that's kind of the plan. So we just got a little downpour and we're supposed to get 1 to 2 inches of rain tonight, so we're calling it here, parking everything. It might be a couple days yet before we get started on beans, but the 2-1 beans and probably 2-5s will be ready to go after this rain. All the rain will knock off all the green leaves, and the 2 ones would have probably went today. It's just there was a lot of green leaves out there, so we just started picking end rows of corn. That's the plan, probably to dry a little more. Last load was 22, 23, and if we got beans ready, I'd way rather start on beans and get those while they're close to 13, 14% moisture instead of letting those get dry. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next video.